We'll now link up with our Abuja studio where Eshomo Moimodu and Tijesu Adewe are standing by. Good morning, Tijesu. Good morning, Eshomo. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning, Veronica, and good morning, Ibrahim. We're looking, doing very well this morning.
Great.
Good morning to you both.
Good to hear from you.
Hi.
Good to hear from you guys over there in Abuja. I'm wondering what your guests will be talking about, regarding the defection of the lawmakers in River State. Although without prejudice to the case that is already pending in court, I don't know. Maybe there is a national problem, crisis at a national level or not that, would warrant their defection to another party. Wondering what your guests will say, regarding that.
Well, I'm sure our guests are looking forward to that because there's a lot of confusion, and just a lot of mystery around that case that is left to unravel. But we have two legal practitioners on the show this morning that will help us do justice to that matter.
Okay, so take it away then.
All right, and let me take you through now. Thanks for joining us now. The political landscape in Rivers State took another dimension on Monday when the five-man panel of the Supreme Court led by Justice Uwani Abahaji dismissed the appeal filed by Governor Similaye Fubara, challenging the leadership of the State House of Assembly led by Martin Amaewhule. Justice Uwani Abahaji, while dismissing the appeal, awarded a cost of 2 million naira against the governor payable to Rivers State House of Assembly as the first respondent and Martin Amaewhule as the second respondent. And the dismissal of the appeal by Fubara was premised on the withdrawal of the suit by his counsel, Yusuf Ali. And the Rivers State Assembly has been embroiled in a protracted crisis since 2023 when over 25 lawmakers loyal to former Governor Nyesom Wike dumped the People's Democratic Party for the ruling All Progressives Congress.
Fubara has since transacted business of the state with Oko Jumbo Group, ignoring the Amaewhule faction. Last October, the Court of Appeal in Abuja affirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court, which set aside the 800 billion naira 2024 budget passed by Amaewhule rival group. The appellate court had dismissed the appeal filed by Fubara on grounds that it lacked merit. The court had nullified the 2024 Rivers budget passed by pro-Fubara lawmakers and set aside the presentation and passage of the Rivers State 2024 budget. And to set the record straight on these matters, we have two gentlemen, Libros Oshoma, a legal practitioner. Good morning, Mr. Libros.
Yeah, good morning.
And we also have Chetam Tierenwala, also a legal practitioner, joining us via Zoom. Good morning, Mr. Chetam.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Good morning to you, gentlemen. Well, we'll begin this way, and I'll start with you, Mr. Libros. There's so much confusion about the implication and interpretation of the Supreme Court decision on the River State crisis. Initially, the Court of Appeal had earlier ruled that the Fubara action violated Section 96 of the 1999 Constitution, which requires at least 1/3 of the Assembly members to form a quorum. What is the possible outcome of this dismissal of the appeal by Governor Fubara, filed by Governor Fubara?
Yeah, first and foremost, let's quickly set the record straight. The appeal was withdrawn by the Fubara's lawyer on the ground that it has become an academic exercise, being a 2024 budget. We are now in, which was passed in 2023, and so that money had been presumably spent, legal or otherwise, and now we're in 2025. There is another budget that was presented in the same manner, and that seems to be, the issue that it should be on the top burner. The issue of a 2024 budget is passed, but that does not take away the meat or the pronouncement of the Court of Appeal as regards that case. So a withdrawal of the appeal does not invalidate the judgment of the Court of Appeal. Rather, on position, on matters such as that, what is subsisting is the position of the Court of Appeal. But the matter was actually withdrawn by the lawyer to Fubara, and not, the Supreme Court hearing the matter on its merits.
Right to say events have overtaken the 2024 budget that was presented to a 4-member House of Assembly. Who will account for the unappropriated funds?
Yeah, that's the big question, because if the Court of Appeal, is subsisting judgment of the Court of Appeals, has held that is not the procedure to be followed, considering the fact that even when you say, when the law makes provisions for defection, it is still the court that will declare seats vacant, and the court, makes that pronouncement. It's just like when you say the penalty for murder is death, but you cannot say because you saw somebody killing another and that you just killed that person, that will mean taking the law into your hands or resorting to self-help. You will still have to bring that person before the court and ask the court, to make a pronouncement on the allegations that have been proven. So it's the same way. Yeah, if members of the House of Assembly defect, we know that the penalty is them losing their seats. It is the court that will make that pronouncement, that will pronounce their seats vacant and not in the mouth of anybody. So to that extent, that was where the Court of Appeal held that the presentation of that budget to 3 members, was a joke taken too far. But since the money has been spent, it is now left for the courts or the parties or the State House of Assembly to take steps or to take, a decision on that. It is no longer a matter within the jurisdiction of the court. The matter hasn't been withdrawn, and the Court of Appeal haven't made a pronouncement on it.
Now, Mr. Chetam, let me come to you with this. Some members of the House of Assembly were said to have crossed over to the other party, and according to the Rivers State government, that they have lost their seats. But some argument also is that why would Governor Fubara present his budget to just 3 members, and the other camp is saying, look, nobody forced them to decamp. As it is, as of today, you have just 3 members. Help us to understand, what does it mean to form a quorum? Is it the entire members of the House or the members as at the time after the defection? The confusion there, can you help us out?
Mr. Chetam, are you there?
Okay, Libros, can you help us with this if you can hear me? Libros, can you help us?
You have argument for and against. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. You can proceed.
We can hear you. Okay. It's like we're having challenges with him over there. Now, Libros, can you help us with the question? What is the quorum? Is it the number of the members in the House of Assembly before the defection or after the defection? Because both camps are laying claim that we have formed a quorum. The other one is saying you have not formed a quorum. And what exactly is the position of the law? Can you help us that, Libros?
Yes,
Libros. Okay, we seem to be having some challenges there. Now, I think the confusion is depending on whichever camp you belong to.
Of course.
You seem to, one camp is saying we have formed a quorum, we will present, the other camp is saying. So the confusion is citizens of Rivers State will continue to suffer while this lasts. Well,
it's just a sad situation. If you go by what the provisions of the 1999 Constitution, it says at least 1/3 of the Assembly. So it's left for the interpretation of the court.
Exactly.
And that's what the appeal court, has taken its own stand and said and directed the governor to say, okay, go back and represent your budget to the House of Assembly. Because of course, according to the Constitution, you have violated it.
All right, Chetam, if you can hear us. The question is, what exactly formed the quorum in the Rivers State House of Assembly? Is it the number before the defection or the number after the defection as assumed by the Rivers State government?
Recording stopped.
Okay.
All right, we'll take this quick commercial break now. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Glad to have you back. We are still talking on the Rivers State crisis, and we still have with us Libros Oshoma and Chatham Wala, legal practitioners. So you were asking a question before.
Yeah. Chatham, I was seeking the clarification that what exactly forms the quorum in the Rivers State House of Assembly? Is it the number before the alleged or defection of lawmakers, or the numbers as it is now? What exactly is the quorum?
Oh.
Chatham, can you hear me? Now, Chatham, okay, let me talk with you, Libros. If you can hear me, can you help us shed light on this dark area?
Technology. Well, it's just another question is the governor's councils are saying that this budget, events have already overtaken it.
That is
the
what
budget
they're
has been executed, taxes have been paid, and all of that. But how legal is this? That is another question that is, left unanswered. Is this legal? Even if you say events have overtaken it.
A wrong is a wrong.
Yeah, a wrong is a wrong. So where do you place, this argument? I don't know if Mr. Libros can hear me.
I can hear all of you loud and clear.
Okay, right, so can you give us an answer to that?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
very well,
loud and clear.
Yeah, so the answer to that question is very simple. The court had ruled consistently that when you defect by virtue of section 109, subsection 1, paragraph G, that when you defect, being a person whose election to the House of Assembly was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another party for the expiration of the period for which the House was elected, provided, that proviso we all know. And then subsection 2 goes further to say the Speaker of the House of Assembly shall give effect to subsection 1 of this section. So, however, that the Speaker or a member shall first present evidence satisfactory to the House that any of the provisions of that subsection has become applicable in respect of that member. The courts, I can't forget the ready authority now, the courts have, however, gone further to state that the declaration of a seat vacant can only be done by the court and not even the Speaker. So, in as far as the law is concerned, a member defecting ipso facto does not automatically means that you will declare that seat vacant. It takes the pronouncement of the court. That is why you have members at the National Assembly who have defected because somebody had not challenged that matter in court. That is why they are still seated as members of the National Assembly. Also, in the same vein, like the issue I raised, I said something just now, murder. Death is the penalty for murder, but it takes a court pronouncement. So the presumption of correctness is still in the favor of people who defected until the court makes a pronouncement. And so, to answer your question, you will not be taking quorum as members. The quorum will be members who, as at the time of the exercise, had not been pronounced, whose seat had not been pronounced vacant.
So who takes responsibility?
If a court has not pronounced the seat of a member vacant, you cannot declare the seat of that member vacant.
So who now takes responsibility for the illegal passage of the 2024 budget?
It is the House of Assembly that will take responsibility for that. That is why the Court of Appeal recognized the fact that that budget presentation was not properly done.
Now, Liberals, let's get these things right. The Court of Appeal, like you said, ruled that the 2024 budget was not properly done. Now, the governor advanced to the Supreme Court, and just before the Supreme Court will give its own ruling, they withdrew the case. Now, what is the...
So what it means is that it is the judgment of the Court of Appeal holding that is a joke taken too far, that is subsisting on the matter.
Now, who will now action it?
The State House of Assembly, of course.
Which State House of Assembly?
I just told you, Eshemomo, that the State House of Assembly, the decision taken by the Court of Appeal recognize the fact that the State House of Assembly is still existent, not the allowed that 3 members.
Okay.
It is the press. It is the press that is even fanning this, the embers of this crisis by believing or recognizing that 3 persons, contrary to the provisions of Section 91, 3 persons can form, a State House of Assembly. Let me read the position of Section 91 to you. Okay, subject to the provisions of this Constitution, a House of Assembly of a state shall consist of 3 or 4 times the number of seats which that state has in the House of Representatives, divided in a way to reflect as far as possible nearly equal population, provided that the House of Assembly of a state shall consist of not less than 24 and not more than 40 members at any given time, except a court declares the seats of those members vacant and now order INEC to conduct another election.
All right. Mr. Chetan, let me come to you with this. Now, there is an subsisting ruling from the Court of Appeal which declared that the presentation of the 2024 budget was done illegally. Now, the governor supposed to be a custodian of the law. The House of Assembly also is supposed to be custodian of the law. But as it is, some persons are going contrary to what the law is. Now, who will action it? He said the House of Assembly, but they've not done it. The governor have not obeyed it. So what is the next step?
I think the matter is really clear at this point, because it simply means that the decision of the Court of Appeal at this point is the decision on this said matter, as well as the decisions from the lower court, which is that of Justice Omotosho, and which has clearly settled the issue of dispute with respect to the leadership of the Rivers State House of Assembly, irrespective of whatever argument anyone is putting up and all that. I think the Rivers State House of Assembly, as led by Martin Amaewhule, should be able to action it at this particular point, because the court has held the position. And since the court has taken a position on this particular issue, then the House of Assembly will take actions. But if the House of Assembly fails to take action, that becomes their own issue in the circumstance.
Yeah, exactly.
But the judgment of the court we have heard, and from the withdrawal of the appeal at the Supreme Court, the judgment we have as of today that serves as the judgment with respect to the issues that have been raised is that of the Court of Appeal, which naturally affirms the judgment of Justice Omotosho, which amongst other things, the argument that has gone ahead on the media space has always been that it's just the issue of the 2024 budget that was being appealed against. But that is the Justice Omotosho's judgment touched on other issues, including restraining the National Assembly from taking over the administration of the duties of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Well, the Justice Omotosho's judgment also went further to demand to order that the remuneration salaries of the Amaewhule-led administration should be paid to them. So if we are saying that the said judgment now, or appeal in quote, has been overtaken by events, this other part of the Justice Omotosho's judgment that was affirmed by the Court of Appeal, has it also been overtaken by events?
Which brings me to another question, another question.
These things should be kept. These things should be kept properly and said as they are.
Mr. Chatham, can you hear me? Do I have your attention? Chatham, do I have your attention?
Well,
okay,
correct.
Fine. Governor Fubara has also signed the 2025 budget presented to the same assembly that the Court of Appeal said did not form a quorum. The question here is, what is the fate of that 2025 budget? Will it have to be represented to the Amaewhule-led House of Assembly to get its legitimacy?
Now, I must tell you that one thing people have not cast their mind to is, if you look at Order 3 from the Justice Omotosho judgment, it further restores the status quo of the House of Assembly as at November 29, 2023. And also went on to give an instruction, ordering and stating clearly that every nominations, requests, presentations should only be made to the House of Assembly as led by the second plaintiff. And the second plaintiff in that particular suit is Martin Amaewhule. So, see, when we look at these things, these are clear-cut laws as decided by the courts. The court has held in this particular situation. And that is why we had expected that the appeal would have gone ahead. The appeal at the Supreme Court would have gone ahead. Maybe the Supreme Court would have looked at some of these issues and actually give direction to it. But the withdrawal only gives life to Justice Omotosho's judgment and gives life also to the judgment from the Court of Appeal. So it simply means that the 2025 budget was wrongly presented also. It does not exonerate the 2025 budget.
Now, Libros, let me come to you with this. Now, given the argument of both of you, it simply suggests that there is impunity somewhere because the 2024 budget, according to you, was wrongly presented. The 2025 budget also wrongly presented. Now, are there no agents of states to action a judgment? You said there is a subsisting judgment of the appeal court. Are there no agents of the states to action it? And can an ordinary citizen of Rivers State also go to court to ensure that people are sanctioned for disobeying the law?
Look, I don't know why you want to help the State House of Assembly to do their function, to perform their function. The function of sanctioning the state governor is that of the State House of Assembly. And as we speak, like I said, it is the media that is fanning these embers, that is emboldening the governor to believe that the Martin Amaewhule-led members are no members of the State House of Assembly. Because when the media keep insisting that they have lost their seats and haven't defected, it emboldens the governor to believe that that is the status quo. The status quo as at today is that there is a subsisting House of Assembly and it is led by Martin Amaewhule. I have said it time and time again, even if we agree that they have defected, even though they are contesting that defection, that there is no document to that effect, that's a matter for another day. It is the court that can pronounce on them rather retaining or losing their seat. And Justice Omotosho had done that copiously. The Court of Appeal also had said in the words of the Court of Appeal that it is a joke taking too far a presentation of a budget to 3 members of the State House of Assembly, contrary to Section 96 and Section 91 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And so, withdrawal of an appeal at the Supreme Court means that there is only one subsisting law today, because we say the law is what the court says it is. Exactly. And the court has pronounced the law copiously. And so, in that case, the court has said these members are still members of the State House of Assembly. So when the media comes to read faction and remember and recognizes Uche Jumbo as, is that his name, as a factional speaker, it's the media that is fanning the ember.
Would you rather blame the politicians and the lawyers for this instead of putting the blame on the media?
I didn't say the media started the problems. I said the media is fanning by recognizing somebody who is not a speaker. You address him as a factional speaker. Because the law, as we speak today, has said this is the State House of Assembly. And so it is the position of the State House of Assembly to initiate proceedings
We must thank you so much for your time with us on the program, Libros Oshoma and Chetam Wala, for your contributions. We hope that we are able to, deliver justice to this matter, irrespective of the network challenges we had earlier. Thank you so much for your time with us on the program.